None in the Grand Alliance of Order has known suffering quite like Alarielle and her Sylvaneth children. She stood alone as the Pantheon crumbled around her, and allies like Nagash and Gorka Morka became threats to her domain. The plague god Nurgle converted worshippers of growth and life into cultists cultivating contagion. The realm of life, Giran, was assaulted by the concentrated efforts of Nurgle to make Alarielle's realm his own. The woe that would befall Alarielle and the atrocities the Sylvaneth faced during the Age of Chaos would bring them to near ruin, if not for one hero whose power was second only to the Everqueen. The Lady of Vines was born from the severed hand of Alarielle, at the height of her war aspect at the peak of summer. The demigod daughter to the Everqueen was blessed with unrelenting determination and martial prowess, which ensured life would carry on during Nurgle's realm-wide invasion. More than once was the Lady of Vines defeated protecting her mother, only to regrow, more tenacious and gnarled with each rebirth. Around her is a tempest of razor-sharp vines that lash out even into the most well-armored foes. Over the years, her spells would become more powerful and merciless, summoning swarms of ravenous insects and storms of shredding thorns to bring cruel death to those who would dare oppose life. She wages war with the gifted spear Kernothiel's Wrath, a splinter from Alarielle's own legendary weapon and imbued with the blessings of the hunting god Kurnoth. With his lingering grace, the spear is guided with each stab and throw to its intended prey. The Lady of Vines is said to have anointed the spear in the blood of thousands of foes who dared to war against life. It was the Lady of Vines that led 1,000 tree revenants to recover the powerful weapon known as the Tear of Grace from cultists of Slaanesh. She was the general that led multiple guerrilla assaults upon Nurgle and his holdings throughout Giran. Using her unparalleled knowledge of the realm routes to appear across the land with her army, the Maggotkin found themselves consistently unprepared for the sudden ambush. When the soul pods in the lands of Neos were whisked away by an ambitious Skaven Greyseer, it was the Lady of Vines who tracked down and brought ruin to these nefarious thieves. The Greyseer was impaled upon their own bell carriage, a warning to the Skaven of the fate that awaits them in Giran. When Alarielle's consort Kurnoth died, she truly felt alone. Diminished and without hope, the Everqueen went into seclusion during the War of Life. The Lady of Vines would take the reins on the war effort and see that the Sylvaneth and her mother would not meet their end. Her status with Alarielle saw that even the most ancient of Tree Lords recognized that hope was only possible through the Lady of Vines' guidance. When the verdant palace of Alarielle was corrupted by an army of chaos, she had transformed into a soul pod. The Lady of Vines underwent a crusade to take her mother's soul pod to Blackstone's summit, where she could be revived. The journey was harrowing, and ultimately, the Lady of Vines was felled, slowing down their pursuers. But this had bought Alarielle's guardians enough time to plant her at Blackstone's summit, to be revived, and in turn reviving the Lady of Vines, who led a counterattack to topple Nurgle's gifted Genesis Gate. Alarielle, the Sylvaneth, and life itself would have come to an end, were it not for the actions of the valiant Lady of Vines.